the SAS is going out again. You have to be here to get a sense of the sheer relentlessness of all this. You'll see the men in the morning in the mess with the camouflage paint still on, having come back from a mission, and then soon after, like now, another crew is going out. And what is also hard to get your head around is the fact that going out is what they'd rather do. Every mission must be conducted with a representation of at least 33% of the partner force, in this case Afghan police from the local special response team, who are different.
If we catch a Taliban unarmed, he'll come back here and go to jail for a few years, but if he's caught, he will, they'll kill him, regardless of whether he's armed or not armed. We're governed by rules, where these guys have their rules, they're slightly different to ours. Like we had 12 prisoners, 12 detainees the other day, and Osman knew that they were Taliban and he wanted to kill them right then and there, and I said, no, you can't.
There is no denying the degree of difficulty. In November, 3 Australians were killed by an enemy masquerading as a friend. This followed an earlier murder of an Australian Army cook by an Afghan ally. Afghan police in particular have had a poor reputation for collaborating with the Taliban, for extorting the local population, and for drug use.
I haven't seen them smoke marijuana at all, but in the early days they used to, and a lot of Australians would refuse to go out and patrol with them because they were under the influence of marijuana.
I guess at the end of the day, if I'd prefer not to work with them, then Afghanistan will never ever be its own country. I'm happy to work with them. I've been left alone with them for them providing me security while I've been doing some bits and pieces.
The bomber packed 1,500...
The coalition's gains do have a way of becoming shrouded in the dust of the latest IED blast or suicide bomb attack. You've been here 8 times now, is that right?
Yes, 8.
Yeah. So, is it getting better?
It's a difficult question, Chris. When we first got here when I first got back here in 2002, you could drive around in non-armoured cars, just civilian cars, drive around Tarankow was quite safe. But now you wouldn't step out of the gate unless you're in an up-armoured vehicle like a Humvee or like our Bushmasters, because the IED threat is quite bad. Now whether we brought that into town because we're here or because we've decided to partner with the SRT boys, I don't know. As our month with Special Forces draws to a close, it is grand final weekend back at home. It seems fitting. Prominent among the soldiers' reasons given for being here is you don't train all your life to sit in the dressing room on the big day.
Of course I believe in the ethic, but I more believe in the blokes next to me. I don't want them to be in a fight without me, pretty much, and I think they'd think the same.
I think it would be a wrongdoing for us to walk away halfway through the operation. I think it would be very un-Australian not to finish a job that you started.
We can't simply go into a conflict and simply leave after we've caused damage, and we're trying to do the right thing and stabilise our country before we leave. I think that's the right thing to do.
There are 1,000 ways to tell the Afghanistan story, and not one of them would be perfectly accurate. But this story, told largely from the soldiers' perspective, is important, not just because they are here and risking their lives, but because they are good witnesses. And what is consistently intriguing is the difference between what they see and the view back home.
We begin tonight with the Australian Defence Force and its chief hitting back at growing calls for the withdrawal of our troops from Afghanistan.
You know, if you're sitting next to someone at an airport, or you're just sort of having a conversation with another friend back at home, I would say that the most question I get asked is, are we really making progress over there?
What do you say?
I say yes, we are making progress. Quite often the only thing that the public may hear is that when there is a unfortunate incident which has occurred, as opposed to the many very good missions that are completed that do have a significant effect on the battle space. So I think it's a great concept that we're opening our doors a little bit, I guess, so to allow the public to properly understand that what's happening over here from both our own perspective and the rest of the Australian forces as well.
I think now that we've got that trust and there's an established government, there's established procedures, I think it's going to start moving forward.
Australian Special Forces actively avoid recognition. They are practiced at keeping their secrets. A curious consequence is the ugly gains of their enemy can be better known than their own measured, disciplined, and often magnificent endeavours.